400 to men's 400. And same rules apply. Top 3 in each heat go through to the semi-finals. Let's take a look at Noah Williams in lane 7.
A week ago, he won the NCAA title with the LSU Tigers. Number 3 time coming in for the U.S., and he's already seen Talitha Diggs advance. She was an NCAA runner-up. He was 3rd at the NCAAs a week ago.
Trevor Stewart starts on the extreme inside in lane 2. Unfortunately, Taj Burgess was a late scratching. That's why you see lane 6 empty. Heat 1 of the men's 400.
And in lane 3 is the youngster Justin Robinson. There's only been 3 high schoolers who have broken 45 seconds, and he is one of them. Keep an eye out for him.
Well, at that Miramar Invitational where Sha'Carri Richardson blew everybody away in the women's 100, so too did Robinson. He featured in the 400.
But he's got some ground to make up because Noah Williams, the NCAA 3rd placer, has done a good job through the first 250, but now here comes the challenge.
On the inside is Trevor Stewart, the 24-year-old from Lawton, Virginia, all in white. Trevor Stewart has got this field covered, and covered nicely. Remember, top 3 go through, so Williams will join Trevor Stewart, and 3rd will be Justin Robinson in 44.75.
Stewart was 4th in that 400 meters at the NCAA championships behind this guy, Noah Williams, but I think being able to pace off of Williams, Sonia, allowed him to just slingshot off the turn and get the win.
Absolutely. 44.75 is a great first round run. And Noah Williams had nobody behind him, and that makes it a little bit challenging. You're not sure how far you are, but to Trevor's advantage, he had everybody ahead of him, and he put together an amazing race and really came down with so much strength and poise and just pushing all the way to the finish line.
And Sonia, I watched him last week at the NCAAs. Doesn't he have some of the best arms coming home? He's always has good form coming home, and that will get you to the front of a lot of races when everybody else is tying up.
Really making a statement with that run, Lee.
Well, for all you youngsters out there who have the karma things, that is the second heat of the men's 400. Again, just like the women's 4 heats, top 3 in each go through, and then the next 4 fastest times advance. Here's LaShawn Merritt, and LaShawn starts out in lane 6. He's one of 2 Olympians in this field.
That's right, Olympic champion, and competed at 3 Olympics. I got to tell you, Otto, it still makes me feel young to see my contemporaries on the track making a go at it. He's a 5-time U.S. champion, and when you think about somebody who is so headstrong, this man is a picture of mental strength. So we'll see what he has in store for us today.
LaShawn is fast approaching his 35th birthday and not slowing down.
And lane 2 here is Michael Cherry, coached by my former coach, John Smith, who still has the world record for 440 yards. But Michael Cherry is having his best season ever. Only 3 Americans have run faster in 2021. And we've referenced this race quite a bit, guys. The NCAA Championships 400 about a week ago. And this is the guy who was 2nd in that race in a personal best time. And it means that he is ready, if he can match that time, to contend for a spot on this Olympic team.
Just want to come back to Michael Cherry for a moment. He was part of that. Remember when we were in Doha a couple of years ago at the World Championships? Michael Cherry was part of that successful mixed 4x400, which will make its debut in Tokyo, Olympic debut in Tokyo. So he had a wonderful time there. He won gold in that mixed 4x400.
And you'll remember they set the world record in both the heats and the finals. So that will make, as you said, its Olympic debut. And it's one of the events I'm looking forward to seeing in Tokyo, quite frankly. So LaShawn Merritt in 6, Olympic champion back in 2008 Beijing.
And all the way closest to camera here in lane 8, the 2018 US 400-meter champion, Kamari Montgomery. Second heat of the men's 400 away. Let's see what LaShawn Merritt's got.
And he's out in lane 6, and he usually likes to get out fast and control this race, and he's actually off to a pretty good start here. You remember that LaShawn Merritt was a part of that world record race where he finished with a bronze medal when Wade Van Niekerk broke that record. So he has just tremendous experience and has been here so many times before.
So LaShawn Merritt looking very good through 250, but look on the inside now. Here comes Michael Cherry, who has always been a good finisher, and he will take the lead with less than 100 to go.
This is going to be Michael Cherry, LaShawn Merritt, although Merritt's dragging behind. Montgomery's lost out here to Ryan Willey on the inside, and fresh from the NCAAs, Dedman is going to come across third. So Michael Cherry with the win in 44.86 over Ryan Willey.
I don't know, Sonia. I think that's as good as anybody has looked in their first round, and especially doing it from lane 2. He managed that race extremely well, and Cherry looks like somebody who is going to be a factor come finals time.
He looked so confident and in control, while LaShawn Merritt was really tying up and faded all the way to the back. Here you see Michael Cherry in complete, look at his arm drive. He is under no stress.
That's
just
John Smith.
completely in control. Otto, like you said, he's definitely going to be the favorite going into the 400-meter final.
What did you say pre-race, mate? He's having the best season ever.
Yeah.
He is. And after many years of just making relay teams, that wears on you. You're like, I want to get to a games and make an individual team. And, you know, every trials, it's changing of the guard, and some of the old Lions sort of, you know, getting bitten in the neck by the young kids. And you see LaShawn Merritt, great form, but it's not there anymore, and he will not advance.
There we go. Michael Cherry with the win. How about the 18-year-old from Baltimore, Maryland, Ryan Willey, for second? He qualifies for the semifinals over, as we said, fresh from the NCAAs here at Haywood a week ago, Bryce Dedman in third and off to the semis. Here's Lewis Johnson.
All right, Michael Cherry, you're having a great year so far. When you see that time in your first round, what do you think?
It's pretty good. I just wanted to go out there and make sure I advance, so I did that, so I took care of business today.
Okay, and advantage or disadvantage being in lane 2? Could you see everybody? I mean,
I'm kind of tall, so it's kind of hard to run out of lane. I feel like indoor track, but I made the best of it.
Okay, very good. LaShawn, you have had a tremendous run. 3-time Olympian, gold medalist. You've got all those medals and experiences. How are you doing today in this? Where are you in this journey now?
Man, I've overcome some injuries. I want to come out here and have fun. I did a lot in the sport. I wanted to come out. I've been training. Wanted to see what I can do after this toe injury. And I'm just out here. Want to give it my all. We'll just see what happens.
So, rumor says you'll be 35 later in the year. But there's another opportunity for a world team next year. Is that a possibility for you?
You know, we'll see how this year go. There's some things I want to do in life. Haven't been able to do yet.
Like what?
Man, like family.
Okay.
Like business. I still love this. There's a lot of young guys out here working hard. I want to see if I can come in and shake it up with them. Michael here's from Virginia. I'm going to keep rooting him on, and it's all love.
Legend.
All right. Respect between the two of you. Thanks to both of you.
Thanks, Lewis. Well, at the moment, based on time, LaShawn Merritt does have a 1 foot in the semis. We will see. Guess who's up next to consolidate and confirm his position in the semis? That's Michael Norman. You'll see him run when we return. And Sonia Richards-Ross with you. Here's Michael Norman. When you talk about men's 400 competition, you must talk about this guy. He is one of the favorites, not only here at the trials, but heading to Tokyo. And speaking of heading to Tokyo, it carries extra significance because his mum, Nobu, was born in Hamamatsu, Japan, which is only about 130 miles from Tokyo. There's his dad, Mike Sr., watching on, and they're ready for their boy to get over what have been some unfortunate hurdles in the past couple of years that have prevented him from bigger titles like the national title, like going on to the final at the World Championships in Doha. Injury prevented him there. So after that 2018 NCAA title, there's been some hurdles, some hiccups, right? He's got to get things back on track.
Absolutely, such a great young talent. Actually competed at the 2016 Olympic trials and finished 5th behind Noah Lau. So has been showing so much promise in the 200, been showing so much promise since a youngster. And now this is his time to show up, and what a great place to show up in Tokyo, Japan.
The sport is not about times. He has all the fast times. It's about the championships. So now he's trying to get to the Olympics and get his first Olympic time.
Michael Norman with that white headband on, lane 6.
And I remember when I would compete as a favorite at the Olympic trials, what I would want to do is dominate in the first part of this race, and this is exactly what he's doing. He's going to want to model his first 200 the same way he would want to run the finals of the 400, and then relax. As much as they give him, he will take, and he will cruise coming home.
He has the ability to run world-class 100, 200, and 400 meters, and he's showing you why. Although, look on the outside, though, that's Elijah Godwin of Covington, Georgia, and he will come off the turn with a big lead. The question is Michael Norman going to spend the effort to get him? I think he might.
So it's Godwin winning heat 3 in 44.82 over Michael Norman. Perhaps energy conservation and control there. Mum and Dad seem reasonably pleased. So Michael Norman just doing what he has to do to get through to the semi-finals of the men's 400.
And that's always tricky when you have someone on the outside who is running that fast, because Michael Norman would have wanted to set up his race to 200 and then cruise. But when he comes off the turn, he's going to have somebody that's so far out ahead, he'll have to decide, is it worth it for me to chase him down, or do I want to save that running for the finals? And he opted to save his legs for the next round.
Yeah, and Elijah Godwin, part of the reason why he's leading Michael Norman here is because he's running right at his personal best. He didn't even make the final at the NCAA championships. But he comes here, and, you know, being on the outside lane will do that, Sonia. As you know, you're running for your life out there. You can't see who's behind you. You know Michael Norman has to be coming. So he ran very close to his personal best, and that's what got him the win over the rest of this field.
It was a good run early on, too, for probably about 80% of the time by Chris Bailey. He was overtaken, though, by Nathan Strother, a world champion in the relay, to confirm his position in the semi-final. Here's Lewis.
All right, well, Michael, Sonia Richards-Ross, just remembering times when she was the favorite in the 400, and she said she wanted to dominate in the first round. Is that something you wanted to do as well?
It's definitely important. I think it was just first round jitters. But not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared to go back to Coach Watts because he's probably gonna be in my ear. So
what's he gonna say?
We'll see if you see me tomorrow.
What's he gonna say?
I don't know, but I'm nervous. I'm very nervous.
All right, to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna keep me on my toes.
So much on the line for you, not just being here, but of course with your mom, Nobu, being from Japan.
Yes.
And you wanting to get to the games.
Yes.
How much pressure are you carrying each round, day by day, in this one-year delayed opportunity? I
try not to think about the pressure. You know, I just go out here and try to just enjoy every moment of it. Just be grateful that we're out here able to compete for, you know, the Olympics. So I'm excited, and, you know, the pressure is something that I try not to think about.
Gotcha. Good luck with Coach.
Thank you, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Paul Swangard.
Thanks, Lewis. We'll check in now inside the oval. The women's high jump
out. So 3 of the 4 men's 400 heats are down. This is the final one. And again, reminding you, top 3 in each heat go through, and then the next 4 fastest times. If you love your times, the bubble at the moment is 45.81 to make it in if you're not in the top 3. Here is Randolph Ross, who is coming off a pretty special weekend here last weekend in the NCAA championships.
Well, he's the son of the coach, Dwayne Ross, at North Carolina A&T. He had maybe the breakout performance of the NCAA championships, running 43.85. That leads the world. He's the only man in the world under 44 seconds flat.
Will London will start in lane 4. Had a terrific time at the World Championships 2 years ago in Doha, Qatar. And in lane 5 is Vernon Norwood.
2016 U.S. 400-meter indoor champion. And after a phenomenal career at LSU, I thought he would be the next LaShawn Merritt and really go on to do great things. He's only won gold on relays and wants more. And so we'll see if he's able to really pull it together and make the individual team and a shot at a medal in Tokyo.
Keep your eye on lane 7. That's Randolph Ross Jr. If you've never seen him run, he is a phenomenal finisher.
Final heat of the men's 400, and the 20-year-old from Raleigh, North Carolina, in the far outside lane 7.
And it's so tough to run blind like that. He's out there in lane 7 all by himself, but coming off of a phenomenal performance at the NCAAs, so he'll have a lot of confidence as he continues to run down this backstretch.
And for all these collegiate athletes, Lee, I'm looking to see, is the championship still in their legs? Because they had such a tough weekend last weekend, but so far, Randolph Ross Jr. has done the job. He has some work to do, though.
All in blue, this is Will London in lane 4, and Vernon Norwood on his outside, and finishing strong is Randolph Ross as they can come across the line, all three together. As simple as that. 1, 2, 3, they're headed for the semifinals.
By far the most competitive semifinals we've seen with these three athletes really going for it at the end of this race, this first heat, I apologize, not semifinal. Will London actually pulling out the win there and looking really strong. You know, really came off the turn powerfully and in control. And like you mentioned, Otto, I'm not sure if the NCAAs are still in the legs of these athletes, because I thought Randall Ross, after running 43 seconds, that's a huge barrier in the 400s, to surpass that, didn't look as in control as I thought he would.
Yeah, but I talked about his finish, and I felt like once he knew that he was in the top 3, you could see him here backing off, looking over as if to say, okay, maybe I didn't run that first 300 the way I wanted to, but I'm very, very comfortably into the semifinal round as we look at Norwood and Will London, who have a lot much more experience than the youngster Ross Jr.
But I got to tell you, finishing third in these first rounds gives you a tough lane draw. So if I were him, I would have wanted to finish in the top 2. But I guess you take what you can get at this level. He's through to the semifinals.
So while we show you the results for the 4th and final heat, LaShawn Merritt fans, I can tell you that it appears as though he has made it on time to get through to the semi-final. So that's good news. He'll join Will London, Vernon Norwood, and Randolph Ross from this heat. Here's time to hear from Lewis Johnson. Lewis?
All right, Will, your thoughts on running this final qualifying round and how things felt?
It felt great. You know, just wanted to get a qualifying time. As Coach Hart says, we're here to survive in advance, make it to tomorrow, and put on the show.
Survive in advance. That really kind of is works with what we've been all dealing with over the last year or so. How have you managed the pandemic and the wait to be able to get to these trials for a shot to make it to Tokyo?
I was able to have a vacation, you know, just stay off my feet, relax, get track off my mind for a minute, so when we got back to it, I can be 100% in.
And you're feeling fresh?
Feeling ready.
It shows in your run.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll see you in the next round.
And Lee, the good coaches know sometimes the best thing you can do for your star athlete, rest them.
It's my kind of man, a vacation. I like that. Well done. Honesty from Will London, and he's going to be one of the key qualifiers for the men's 400 meters semi-finals.